Welcome to the JJ's Declutter podcast, where we tackle the mess and stress to make space for what truly matters. I'm Janice, here with Julie, and together we're sharing our best tips, tricks, and a little humor to help you declutter your home, mind, and life. Whether it's procrastination or piles of stuff, we're here to help you make real progress. Let's dive in.
Happy New Year, dear listeners. Well, mostly happy, because if you're like most people who made a resolution on January 1st, there's a good chance that you're already side-eyeing that goal like it's decor, not a plan.
Oof, strong start, Julie. But true. Studies show only about 25% of people stick with their resolutions past 30 days. 30 days! That's barely long enough to remember your new gym password.
Fewer than 10% actually finish what they set out to do. So if your resolution was to declutter the garage, organize photos, or finally deal with Aunt Mildred's china, the odds are not great.
But here's the good news. It's not because you're lazy or lack willpower. There's real science behind why resolutions fail. We came across an article featuring Justin Hale from Crucial Learning, and honestly, this fits perfectly with how we teach decluttering.
His big point is most resolutions never become habits. And about 40% of what we do every day is habit. Stuff we do without thinking. Brushing our teeth, making coffee, washing your hands after you pee.
Especially if you're a guy. But the problem is we say things like, I want to declutter more this year, instead of every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to declutter one shelf for 12 minutes. One is a wish, and the other is a habit.
And then there's mistake number 2, trying to change everything at once. Exercise daily, eat kale forever, organize the whole house, learn Mandarin, read War and Peace.
And then by February, you're exhausted, discouraged, nothing's done. Hale says pick one goal, maybe two max. Ask, where's the biggest gap between where I am and where I want to be?
For our listeners, that might be the guest room that turned into a storage unit or kitchen counters you haven't seen since Thanksgiving of 2022. Pick that one thing.
Once you've picked it, here's the simple framework. And this is gold for decluttering.
Step 1, create a cue, something that tells your brain, hey, it's time. An alarm, a sticky note, a habit reminder. Keep it simple. The reminder should help, not become another chore.
Step 2, make the routine tiny. And yes, we mean ridiculously tiny. If your goal is 30 minutes of decluttering, start with just going to the room with your donation box. That's it.
This is small, doable doses. You're not committing to the whole basement. You're committing to showing up. And once you're there, your brain often goes, well, I'm already here.
And set up your environment to help you. Donation boxes visible, trash bags easy to grab. Don't make it harder than it needs to be.
Step 3, choose a reward. Something your brain associates with, I did it. A fancy coffee, checking a box, a little happy buzz on your fitness tracker.
Our brains are simple creatures. We like gold stars, even invisible ones.
Now, listen closely. This part matters. When you hit a setback, and you will, don't blame yourself.
It's not a motivation problem. It's a strategy problem. If something's not working, adjust the cue or shrink the routine.
So instead of, I'm going to organize all my photos this year, try every Friday at 2 p.m. after lunch, I'll sort photos for 12 minutes using the decluttering dozen.
Cue, lunch. Routine, 12 minutes. Reward, checking it off, or your favorite tea while you work.
And if you miss a Friday, you don't spiral. You tweak it and you try again.
Mhm. Because habits compound. 12 minutes a week doesn't feel like much until it turns into over 10 hours in a year. That's real progress.
It truly is. So, whatever your resolution is, decluttering or otherwise, remember cue, routine, reward. Keep it small, keep it specific, and keep adjusting. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Small, doable, habitual progress that actually sticks.
All right, decluttering friends, we've talked about the how of sticking with resolutions, cues, routines, rewards. Now let's talk about the why. What's actually happening inside your brain when you try to change? Because according to research out of Yale, your brain is not exactly on your side.
This is the good stuff. The Yale Center for Customer Insights breaks down why New Year's resolutions fail. And once you understand this, it's like, oh, that explains everything.
So let's start with the big one, hyperbolic discounting. Fancy name, simple idea. Your brain prefers small, immediate rewards over bigger, long term gains.
Okay. Hyperbolic discounting. Got it. That's why you eat the cookie now instead of sticking with the plan for the future, or binge one more episode instead of going to bed so tomorrow you can declutter.
Your brain says, I know organizing the garage would be great someday, but scrolling on the couch feels good right now. The right now brain usually wins.
This is exactly why small, doable doses work. 12 minutes of decluttering with visible progress gives your brain the immediate reward it wants. Organize the whole house this year? Too abstract. One clear shelf today? Dopamine.
The second brain trap is identity attachment, and this one causes a lot of shame spirals. This happens when your goal gets tied to your self worth.
So instead of I missed a decluttering session, it becomes I'm a failure. I never follow through. I'm just disorganized. One setback turns into a full character assassination.
The difference between I had a setback and I am a setback. That's all or nothing thinking and perfectionism in disguise.
And that's why we use keep or let's go, not good or bad. You're making decisions about stuff. You're not judging yourself. Your clutter is not a moral failing. It's just stuff that's accumulated, usually for a very understandable reason.
Once you separate identity from behavior, setbacks become information, not indictments. My system didn't work instead of I don't work.
The third issue Yale highlights is the gap between intention and action. So we genuinely want to change every year, but we ignore all the predictable obstacles that tripped us up before.
It's Lucy and the football. Every January we think this time will be different without changing the plan.
The solution? If then planning. So, also called implementation intentions. Instead of I'll declutter more, try if it's Tuesday at 4 p.m., then I'm on my clutter crushers call with the JJs.
Yep, let's do that one. Or if I bring in the mail, then I immediately sort it, recycle, shred, action. Or if I'm making dinner, I toss one expired pantry item.
Perfect. You're attaching new habits to things you already do. And that's habit stacking. And if it works because you're not relying on motivation or memory.
So let's pull this together. Your brain trips you up in three ways. One, it wants immediate gratification. Two, it ties goals to your self worth. And three, there's a natural gap between wanting and doing.
And here's the good news: you're not broken. Your brain is just being a brain. Once you know this, you can plan around it.
For immediate gratification, make progress visible and fast. That's the decluttering dozen. For
Mhm.
identity attachment, separate who you are from what you're learning. And for intention action gap, use if then plans.
The Yale research makes this clear. Change sticks when we focus on incremental progress, reinforce self belief, and design habits that actually fit real life.
So when your resolution wobbles, don't default to shame. Ask better questions. Is my brain choosing the easy reward? Did I tie this to my worth? Or did I leave the plan too vague?
Because when you understand the psychology, you stop blaming yourself and you start setting yourself up for success. Your brain may be sneaky, but now you know its tricks. And once you know the game, you can play it better. Science for the win.
Mhm. Okay, we've talked about how to make resolutions work and what your brain is doing when they don't. Now let's get into a little controversial idea. What if January isn't a fresh start at all, but actually the worst time to try to change your life?
I can hear people perking up. Wait, are you saying I can stop feeling guilty about my abandoned resolutions?
Kind of, yes. A Psychology Today article called New Year's Resolutions or Res Illusions basically says resolutions aren't failing because of you. They're failing because the system is flawed. Nearly half of young adults make resolutions, and by mid February, most are gone.
And the data is wild. About 77% last 1 week. Only 19% last 2 years. That's not a willpower issue. That's timing.
So, why is January such a bad idea? The research gives us three big reasons.
First, unrealistic expectations. New year, new you sounds inspiring, but it's asking you to become a completely different person overnight. And people don't pick one goal, they pick everything.
Exercise more, eat better, declutter the house, quit bad habits, learn a language, become a glowing, perfectly organized human.
Our brains cannot handle that many changes at once. Sustainable changes come from small, incremental steps, what we call small, doable doses. January energy tricks us into trying to declutter the entire house in one weekend, which usually ends in tears and regret. 0 stars, do not recommend.
The second problem is terrible timing. January is peak exhaustion, post holiday burnout, financial stress, short dark days, and seasonal blues.
Research shows stress drains what they call choice power. Basically, it's willpower. So we're trying to build new habits when our mental resources are at their lowest. That's like training for a marathon while you're recovering from the flu.
And third, social pressure. Everyone else is setting goals, so you feel like you should too, even if those goals aren't actually yours.
Just because someone on Instagram wakes up at 5 a.m. to meditate doesn't mean you want to. And if a goal doesn't align with your values, it won't stick, period.
Here's the twist: the research suggests we should stop making resolutions in January and wait until April.
April, actual renewal. And no, we haven't lost our minds. There are solid reasons that this works.
First, more energy. You have longer days, more sunlight, better mood. You're not fighting winter while trying to change your life.
You bet. Second, smarter goals. So by April, you've had time to reflect. You're not, you know what actually matters, not just what sounded good on January 1st.
Third, less stress. The holidays are behind you. The pressure is gone. Your brain has space again.
Fourth, less social noise. January is loud with other people's goals. April is quieter, and that makes room for goals that are actually yours.
And fifth, spring is literally the season of growth. Across cultures, it's when change happens naturally. You're working with your environment, not against it.
So, what if you already made a January resolution and you're struggling?
You didn't fail, the timing failed you.
What if January through March became your planning season? Use this time to notice what's actually bothering you: the closet, the counters, the garage.
Then in March, explore strategies. Learn what works for you. Listen, experiment, maybe join us in Clutter Crushers. Figure out your style.
And in April, with energy, clarity, and a plan, that's when you launch. No guilt, no shame, just smarter timing.
The takeaway is simple. January resolutions come with high pressure and low support. April offers a better setup for lasting change.
April's the new January. Spring is when we bloom, not winter when we're just trying to survive.
Does this mean we're never making January resolutions again?
I mean, science is spoken.
There's something freeing about that. Permission to not have everything figured out on January 1st.
Real change happens when you're mentally, emotionally, and environmentally ready, not just because the calendar says so.
So, friends, stop beating yourself up. Get curious and circle April on your calendar.
Because the best time to change your life is when you are ready. And until then, if you want to declutter something, we're here for you any month of the year.
Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back next week.
So, with that, have a wonderful new year. And remember, keep it simple.
Keep it intentional.
And as always,
keep
keep
decluttering.
decluttering. We're going to get there yet, folks. That's one of our resolutions. Thanks for joining us on the JJ's Declutter Podcast. If you're ready to keep simplifying, follow us for more tips and join our Facebook community to share your wins and challenges. Subscribe here because it's always more fun to declutter with friends. And thanks in advance for leaving us a review.